Finding the Real You is actually one of the chapters in my first book, My Story, My Soul. And the reason that it's so important to identify what the real you is because we're here for a while, and we need to actually find out what our purpose is, not necessarily from a job point of view or a career point of view, but that's nice if that's what actually occurs, but finding out the real you and accessing what your essence is really what your purpose is to actually express your essence and be able to share your light, what I would call your light, with other people in the world. And sometimes that can just be just in community. That can be sharing your ideas with people, also sharing your love with people and your light and your creativity. So, that's what I wanted to have a chat to you about today, was actually talking about finding the real you, not in the same sense as what we're experiencing with so much to look at in social media that is supposed to be telling us who we are, what we are, how we need to be. So, I work with people around their brand, their personal brand, and it's important to find out what your essence is before you can actually put all of those things into practice. So what I'm going to do from week to week is actually take a little excerpt from my book and have a chat to you about that. So today is, finding the real you. So I'm going to just have a little read of how I open up that chapter, because it's, even though it has activities in it, it's also got story. So I'm going to just share just a paragraph. Even though my family weren't churchgoers, I was always intrigued by the practice of religion, dressing up for church, performing ritual, and celebrating by means of ceremony. As a young child, I tried out several different Sunday schools to see which one suited me. My parents never accompanied me. I guess they thought it couldn't do me any harm. I'm grateful that they let me explore my spiritual life without too much interference. None of the Sunday schools did quite fit actually. In reflection, I can see I wanted to work it out for myself. And a few years down the track, at age 17, I had the opportunity. It was Kathy, a girl I was working with at the time, who initiated my next experience and exploration. She invited me to a Christian revival meeting. I didn't think it particularly cool at the time, but I went along anyway. The man speaking at the meeting was Nicky Cruz, author of a book called The Cross and the Switchblade. Nicky's story was very disturbing. He shared that his parents followed dark occult practices and often mentally and physically abused him. He lived in one of the worst neighborhoods in Puerto Rico and was also getting into trouble. When Nicky was 15, his parents sent him to live with his brother in New York. That evening actually changed my life, and I do share a bit more about that in the book, but if you'd like to get the book, you can read the whole thing. It really did put me on a journey of what my purpose was. So, really finding the real me and, as a spiritual woman actually. So I encourage you to have a look at these books. I've got two books. This is My Story, My Soul, which is really what that opening chapter is actually talking about. And then I have Light Leadership, which I'll also be doing the same thing with you, is having a little chat weekly about some of the chapters, because you know, they've got some good content in there to help you, especially in these rapidly changing times. And I think we can really get some encouragement from some reading around story and what your purpose is, from a social and spiritual perspective, not just from a career perspective. But I think we've really come to that time that it's important for us to really know who we are on all levels, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and celestially, which I would term your higher purpose. Okay, so bye for now, but please, you know, subscribe, and also have a look on my website, because there's some free gifts on there. There's some guides that can sort of give you a bit of an introduction to this work, and a quiz to find out what your archetypes are. So hopefully we'll meet one day, either online or in person. Bye for now.